If you want to play great defense in Madden 26, it starts with stopping the run. In the next 6 minutes, I'm going to break down everything you need to know to stop both shotgun runs and undercenter runs. These are things I've learned from my years of playing competitive Madden, where I've gotten to win tens of thousands of dollars and got to play this game at the highest level. I want to start off with some general run defense tips first, and your user is the most important player on the field when it comes to defense. This is especially true in the run game. Your user is the guy. So many people make this huge mistake consistently where they take their user and they either just don't do anything with him, right? So they'll user a defensive lineman where you can't really do much, or the user a linebacker and they'll just kind of stay put, right? They won't just get after the ball, or they'll get caught up in what I call the mush, which is essentially getting your user and just kind of like running straight down with him and just getting blocked right there where you're not really doing anything. Your user should be coming free and flowing to the ball consistently, right? Ideally, you're using on the weak side of the formation, and you're able to swoop across like this, and you're able just to help make a play. You won't always make the play, but you'll mess up the blocking enough to where someone else is able to. Your user is so important, he has to be active in the run defense. Now, the next piece of advice I have is to click in the right stick on defense, go into your coaching adjustments. Let's put option read key on conservative just to play the QB on any read options. And then let's scroll down here to safety depth. We want to put this at close, and then safety width, we want to put this at pinch. This is going to bring our safeties down and closer together in the box, essentially letting them play the run a little bit better than their default alignment. Now let's focus on under center runs. I don't care a ton about what formation you call. You can honestly stop the run out of most formations. Obviously, something like prevent isn't going to be as good as something like 4-4 or nickel, but I want you to focus on whatever defensive formation you like the most. Play call wise, I want you calling any kind of cover 3 or any kind of cover 4. Now, whenever we do this, we're going to break the huddle, and we're immediately going to press Y or triangle and go down on the right stick. That's a coverage adjustment, but that's actually a really big deal. Why? Because so many people, when they try playing run defense, they actually try like blitzing everybody or running this crazy coverage that if they don't run the ball, it's a one-play touchdown. So we have to play basic pass defense, which is done by this right here, by just shading our coverage underneath. The other thing I like to do against under center is press left on the D-pad, go down the left stick, just to pinch my defensive line together. And from here, I'm going to start out by using a linebacker and moving him back, okay? Moving him about 10 yards back. The reason for this is that the offensive line struggles a little bit more when you move a linebacker back that far. Now, when you do that, it's not going to be crazy good run defense, but it's pretty solid, okay? Consistently, it's solid run defense. But if we need to take another step, notice how my user is free again. Notice how my user is always flowing to the ball. If we needed to do something else to this, though, we could do that. Let's just call a quick little dive play. We go here. Notice my user makes that play. So the easy one is just by simply shading your coverage underneath and moving back. But let's say they're running the ball and they're really pounding the rock. What I like to do is to hop on a safety, okay? A little riskier in the pass game, so we got to be aware. But hop on a safety on the weak side of the formation. And when the ball snaps, we're going to try flowing to this ball, okay? The reason we like to do this is because a CPU safety, if we left this guy, Trader Joe, basically, back here on his own, watch what he does. Just focus on him for a second. He doesn't really flow to the ball at all, right? Instead, if we user him, though, he's actually going to do a really good job of flowing to the ball. And if you wanted to, you could go right in the middle with him. And now, we're able to flow to the ball with him, and we're able to help play run defense. So those are the two big things, right? We're going to always pinch our defensive line, and either we're going to move our user back around right here to be able to flow to the ball, or, right, as a linebacker, or we're going to hop on a safety who's already naturally back there, and from there, we're going to flow to the ball really well, right? We're here, we go, we're up top. Either we're going to come free or we're going to help somebody else come free. It's okay if we get blocked. We just can't get caught up in the mush. So let's transition now to shotgun run defense. I want to showcase first what I don't want you to do. Typically, shotgun runs go from halfback side across the face of the quarterback to the other side. Not always, but it's a decent rule of thumb. What you can't do is go on this opposite side and stand next to the offensive line. And then when the ball is snapped, what happens? You get caught up in the mush. You don't really flow to the ball, okay? It's just not a great place to be. Instead, what I'd like you to do is actually user on the same side of the halfback. And what we're going to try doing here is almost looping around and going to make a play. Now, what we're going to have happen here is, one, it's going to confuse the offensive line logic. So when we take this situation, notice I'm pinching my defensive line. I love pinching my line against shotgun runs. What happens here is that the offensive line has issues targeting, and it's also going to allow other people to come free. So either our user will come free, or we're going to have somebody else come free to be able to make this tackle. Now, there are opportunities when you do this as well for gap shoots to be open while you just go downhill. So right there, you kind of saw an example of it. Let's see if we get it again. These can be more hit or miss, but when you get the opportunities to, you can take them. These also will often present themselves when you're on the halfback side. This is relatively, though, what it should look like. Either that loop or it's just going to be coming downhill if you see that opening pop up. You don't need to as much hop on a safety like you do under center unless you're in a really dire situation. But even doing something like this, we see that loop coming free. That's going to do a good enough job while running whatever basic coverage you want behind it. It could be anything, and you'll be able to stop the majority of runs in out of shotgun, or at least to a point where people won't be able to just run the ball whenever they want to. This is a pretty popular run out of Bunch X Nasty, and we're able to stop it pretty consistently, right? This is all Madden. Let's loop around this time. He wants to try cutting it up. We have a linebacker free, defensive line free. Easy way. Now here you saw snippets of a full defensive scheme, and we have those over on Civil.gg. They're used by over 2,000 active members, and they're actually helping players win more games. You can click the link in the top description right now. Use code Civil30 and get 30% off everything you need to start winning.